Thank you, Margareta. There. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. I'm Bea. I'm the in-country representative for Federation University. And if you have any questions along the way, I'm happy to answer them, or we can all discuss later as well at the end of the session. So to begin, I'll share my screen. Okay. So for today, I'll be going through who we are as a university. And to begin with, I'll share first a video.
We're with you. We're with you. We're with you all the way. We're with you. It's the real Australia. We don't have to do it alone. We're with you.
So given this, our more or less branding for the next, because we did a rebrand from our previous dark blue before. So now we're mostly with the lighter colors. So for the university as well, our main tagline now is "We're with you." So we really want to engage this or really push this to students because later on within the presentation, I'll be sharing as well our co-op, or if some of you are currently handling Canada, co-op is where students can have the opportunity to have paid placement within their study. So we're really we as Federation University are with the student, especially even before they graduate. It's really a hand-in-hand cooperation with the student, and of course with the help of agents as well. So some fast facts. So we as a university, we have been in the industry for 150 years. We started out as a mining school because given our main location, which is Ballarat, gold was actually discovered there. So later on, I'll show you some photos or where the location is at. And given our courses, given the industry placement or partnerships that we do have, so we really do focus on that. And because of that collaboration, we are actually number one in Victoria and number two in Australia for full-time graduate employment. So we really focus on the employability of our students, especially when they graduate. So given this, 95% of postgraduate coursework with students get full-time employment with the median salary of 94,500. There. So in terms of location, we are located within four campuses in Victoria. We have two regional campuses, Ballarat and Gippsland. For Ballarat, it is around 1 hour 30 minutes away from Melbourne. So again, this is our main campus. So I would say it's very much livable and it's very accessible if you have any students, if they're really, based in a big major city. I believe in Asian cities there is quite a community. So I would say it's very much livable. You get malls within the area, even though let's say they call it a regional city. In Southeast Asian cities, I would say it's very much livable. So I would say it's a bit quite the same with Ballarat, but it's a bit quieter. Cause given the population, it is a bit smaller but it is very livable. Aside from this, again, it's only 1 hour 30 minutes away train ride from to Melbourne. So if you have any students who gets bored on the weekend, they can easily get on the train and hop back even in the afternoon to get back. So that's why most of our courses as well are offered in Ballarat. For Gippsland is a further option for students, I would say, because this one on the train ride takes about 3 hours. So it's a bit of a drive and a travel going to Gippsland. So this one is a further option for students. Usually these are chosen by either students who are already on shore or who they have relatives with in Gippsland. For city location, Berwick. So this one is a good ground campus. So it is a suburb in the city of Melbourne and it has accommodation as well. So this one is a bigger campus as compared to our Melbourne City campus. Okay. So for Berwick, it's a good option for students coming to bachelors. So at least if parents are much more happier that their children are in the city, this one is a good option. So at least and cost of living is still somehow lower. Okay. And for the Melbourne CBD, this one is a building in the city. So I would say this campus mostly holds IT and business courses, which I will show you in a few. Okay. So for our Ballarat campus, for this campus, again, it is our main campus. I would say there are a lot of opportunities, especially for master courses. So Masters of Social Work is offered here, Masters of Teaching, Engineering, IT. One key thing is we have an IT park within this campus. So this IT park holds IBM, Concentrix, Ernst& Young. Again, when I mentioned we're with you, this one correlates where student has the opportunity to work with these companies. Okay? So if any students are interested for IT, this one is a good option as well. And engineering. Aside from this, we have a speech pathology clinic run by students and also a daycare center. So if any students are interested for Masters of Teaching Early Childhood, this one is a good location. Okay. So for the campus itself, I would say usually I explain to students or agents that it feels like you're walking back in time. Because again, Australia was colonized by the UK as well. So mostly you'd see most of the infrastructures when you see the city itself. It feels like you're walking back in time. It's very nice. And it is actually known as a tourist destination because of the gold. Again, during the gold rush, gold was discovered in this city. So we do have a good background on mining, which leads to engineering as well. There. Next is our Gippsland campus. For our Gippsland campus, I would say they do say it is the most beautiful campus that we do have. Unfortunately, because it is a bit too far, I haven't been there personally myself. But given the feedback of students, usually it is mostly bachelor courses that is offered for international students for this campus. And there are a lot of dairy farms within the area. So sometimes some students can fix that with engineering there. And then for the Berwick campus, one good thing about this Berwick campus, aside from the fact it is within the Melbourne city, it is very accessible because once you get out of the campus, the train station is there and the bus station is there as well. So it is very accessible. There's a lot of ways for students to get in and out of the campus. And we do have accommodation for this campus. So given the first three campuses that I've shown, all of which has campuses. All of which has accommodation versus there, as you can see here. So for the Melbourne City Burke Street campus, so for this campus, I would say this one is a building in the city. It is our new campus. It was opened this year and hopefully to really get that experience for students. Again, because this is a city on the campus, we have a lot of industry partners. So if there are any students interested for IT and business, this one would be a good option. Eh. So of course, when you talk about Melbourne, you get the city, you get the coffee, you get that vibe, especially for students who are excited for their first time in, let's say, Australia. This one would really be a good place. There. So you get the industry embedded learning, location advantage, world-class faculty and support, of course, and a global career pathway. Because again, we really do want to focus for the students' employability even before they graduate. So for the Melbourne City campus, it is a bit of what do you call this? There is a smaller class available. So for this one, again, to focus on business and IT. But as you can see, these courses, you might see them as well later on with, let's say, a different traditional accounting or management and marketing later on, which we do offer as well in our Ballarat campus and Berwick. But the main difference is when you see the word transformation, most of the courses would have embedded courses, whereas, let's say, these courses would want to digitize businesses. Okay. So within this Melbourne campus, there is that tech or development operations that's embedded. And one key course that I wanted to highlight is the Masters of Digital Business Transformation. Within Federation University, unfortunately, we don't have a course called Masters of Business Administration. So this one would be our alternative for that course. So the digital business transformation actually caters to business courses and project management in IT. But do not fret, more or less, this course is open to students given IT or business background. No need for coding background for this. So any student would be able to do this as well. Okay, there. So other key courses, I would say for the Masters of Data Science, AI would be under this. So we did have a bit of some key changes and some courses. So moving forward, in terms of course intakes, only the Melbourne campus has a November intake. So for the Melbourne campus, we have three intakes, which is March, July, and November. For Ballarat, Berwick, and Gippsland, it is only March and July. Other services of the campus, we have a nourishment nook for students. Okay, so this one, students can go once a week. They can fill up their basket. They can get free grocery for, let's say, the week. So they can get food, they can get milk, canned goods, pasta, noodles. So this one is our way of helping students as well with their cost of living. So students can do this once a week and they are welcome to do grocery. So we have the nourishment nook for them. Next is Styled for Success. Again, because we want to push this as for, let's say, placement. So students can borrow clothes for interviews or let's say for their first interview or first day at the work. So this one is available for them as a service. And so I'll make you watch a video first for our Melbourne City campus.
Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Fung.
Welcome to Federation University's Melbourne campus, right here in the middle of the city.
Whether you're planning to study here or just curious about the campus, let's have a quick tour with us.
Let's go. We have a tram stop right out front, and we're just a few minutes from Southern Cross Station. We're also close to shops and cafes. It's easy to get here and easy to feel at home.
Classes are smoother, which means more support and better conversations.
You get to know your lecturers and they actually get to know you.
There are plenty of places to study, from quiet corners to open spaces where you can work with your friends. Uni life isn't just about silence.
There are events, activities, and social clubs. You can always get yourself involved in something.
And if you ever need help with study, your career, or your well-being, there's support right here on campus.
That's just a taste of what life's like at Melbourne campus.
If you would like to know more, just get in touch. We are happy to help.
And one good thing about this campus as well, the full building is under Federation University. So it's not just a floor in the city, but more or less, at least the whole campus is for Federation University. So in terms of, let's say, classes, it is very much being well accommodated within the campus. There. So study levels that we offer currently is higher education diplomas, undergraduate courses, postgraduate courses, and research. And for pathways, given the higher education diplomas, we are currently focused on students who more or less have not meet the direct entry requirement for business and IT would be the course offering for next year. And we also have a graduate certificate in research. If there are any students that you have that would want to go for Masters of Research or PhD. So this graduate certificate can be used to either go to those two courses. So courses on offer. This one is a snapshot of what we do have, but in the next few slides, I have them in detail. So we have health and well-being, STEM and business, education and arts, science. I would say we only have one course currently under Bachelor of Science, and where students can get a major later on if they plan to go for vet, biomed, so on and so forth. And then for pathways, again, higher education diplomas for IT and business, and of course, research. So this one I could share my slide after, but at the end of the presentation, I actually have a link or a QR code that you can screenshot that would give you a copy of our, what do you call this, our course summary brochure for next year. Okay. So as you can see here, not all of our courses are offered in all of the campuses. That's why we also have campus locations stated for each of the courses. So this one I would want to explain again. As you can see here, for our Bachelor of Business, we have accounting. And Bachelor of Business, Marketing and Management covered in Mount Helen or Berwick. Mount Helen is actually our Ballarat campus. But versus the one in Melbourne, which is a Bachelor of Business Transformation Accounting and Bachelor of Business Transformation Management. So this one is two different courses. The first two that you see, which is Bachelor of Business that is offered in Mount Helen and Berwick, both would lead to registration. But the one in Melbourne, unfortunately, it would not lead to registration, but it would cover the accounting basics that would be needed for the course. But again, given the transformation, when you see the word transformation, it more or less, aside from the fact that it is covered in Melbourne, it would cover businesses being digitized. So there are a lot of other, let's say, IT components within those courses. Okay. We have education as well. Currently, we do have Masters of Teaching Early Childhood. So it is offered in Mount Helen. And we have two Bachelor of Education. If there, we have a double major, which is Early Childhood and Primary for 2 years. Or if the student would only want Early Childhood, it is at 3 years. There. And for this one, our Masters of Teaching Early Childhood would only accept IELTS as of the moment. I believe this one is for the registration body later on for them to accept them directly. And no need for them to retake an English exam once they finish the 2-year course. For engineering and science, there we have the following. Unfortunately, for this one, we have not included the mechanical, but rest assured it is there. So we would be having a Bachelor of Engineering Mechanical and a Master's in Engineering Technology Mechanical for next year. It was just missed out on this course flyer. There you go. I know you see the co-op. I'll explain that in a few. And we also have IT. So for IT, there are a lot of options for Bachelor of IT, I would say. And students can more or less do specialization. So AI, data science, business analysis, cybersecurity, software application development. And then for masters, we have it with 3 courses. One is Masters of Applied Cybersecurity, Masters of Data Science, and Masters of Forensic Cybersecurity. So you would see applied cybersecurity and forensic cybersecurity. For applied, given the term, it is more on the application of, let's say, the security for this, whereas forensic is more on the investigatory part. Let's say if some cases or your work is more on investigating, let's say, hacks for that. Yeah. So it would be up to the student what would they want to more or less apply for later on, or what career field they would want to focus to. And then for nursing, allied health, and social work courses, we do have the following. But for this one, I would say for the bachelor, we have speech pathology, OT, and physiotherapy. And of course, Bachelor of Nursing. But for masters, we have professional psychology, psychology clinical, and social work. There. I'm not so sure if Indonesia social work is a big course, but happy to learn from you guys later on. But yes, we do offer the psychology courses as well. Yeah. But for the Masters of Professional Psych and Masters of Psychology Clinical, we do need the APRA. Sorry, the APS assessment to further be accepted into the course. And then for higher degrees by research, again, we have Masters by Research and Doctor of PhD. So again, we're with you. So what are the support we give to students? So for co-op, again, this one is where we want to have the students to have that work experience even before they graduate. So we as a university, we partner with the industry and ask for their feedbacks. So given those feedbacks, we do embed that in the course for the students to study even before they go for their industry placement. So I would say it is actually a win-and-win situation between the university, the industry partners, and of course the students. Because at the end of the day, especially for students, they would get that full round experience of having work even before they graduate. So given this, we have the paid placement guarantee. So a while ago, you've seen courses that has co-op. So those courses are actually eligible for paid placement, whereas they would earn 10,000 AUD for students doing undergraduate courses and 5,000 for students doing postgraduate courses. So the courses that you saw a while ago um, mostly covers business engineering and IT. So during their first year, they would do professional identity, where they would learn about the number of, let's say, industry partners that they can apply for, how they would do their resumes, how they would engage with their interviews. So they would all learn that during the first year, and they will go through the proper application process in Australia on how it feels like to apply for a job in Australia. And by year 2 and 3, they would be doing the placement. So again, 60 days for undergrad and 30 days for postgrad. There. And given this, that while they are doing this placement, they are actually they can still do their part-time work, meaning they can earn from both. So this one would not impact their visa conditions because again, it is part of the study. Okay. Another thing for our co-op, given the courses that you saw a while ago, which is business engineering IT, we also offer the scholarship to the following. So for Bachelor of Education, Masters of Teaching, Bachelor of Nursing, anything that has placement would also be entitled for students to earn 10,000 and 5,000. But this one, students would be earning it in a different way because this one would be given as an allowance by the university to the students. So, for example, if a student is doing Bachelor of Nursing, the first payment would be year 1, semester 2. So they would receive the first 2,000 there and then all throughout until year 3, semester 2. So 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 until they reach year 3, semester 2. But let's say if a student is doing Masters of Social Work, they would be receiving until year 2, semester 2, the last one would be 1,000. So it would be 2,000, 2,000, 1,000. for them. So again, not just students within the courses a while ago that has business engineering IT, these courses would also cover this for the paid placement guarantee. So this one is actually our first scholarship that we do offer to students. Okay. Okay. And for this paid placement guarantee for students doing business engineering IT, they would be earning the 10,000 and 5,000 from the companies that they would be working for. So that would be the key main difference for these two sets of courses. One that has placement already embedded would be receiving it as an allowance from the university. For students doing business engineering IT, they would be earning it from the company that they would be working for. Okay. So that covers our co-op or for our push for, let's say, help for our students. And in terms of partners that we have the following. So it covers not both private and government companies within Australia. So we also have the government, which is Victoria State Government, IBM, Accenture, and other big banks as well. And rest assured, when parents or students would ask, where is there really ways that we can partner or do, let's say, this co-op placement? I would say yes, this list is currently growing, especially within our Melbourne campus. There we go. As you can see here, even Gippsland in the middle are options. There are options for co-op placements. So any student where they go, regardless of the campus, because it is embedded within the course, they are entitled to the co-op. And affordable cost of living. So this one you can take a screenshot, but I would say this one would need a bit of updating as well. As you can see here, it is actually a range as it would depend on the lifestyle. But overall, I would say living in the regional area would really incur less cost in terms of accommodation there versus staying in the city. And for accommodation, we have the following. So our rates would usually start from 245 in Ballarat per week there. And I would say it's pretty much affordable versus staying outside of campus, especially in Berwick. But I would say in Ballarat, I've heard better rates that students can get around 150 to 200. And that would already be a two-room apartment. So it would depend there. So we do have options. Again, Melbourne does not, we don't have accommodation for Melbourne, but for the first three, we do have. Admissions, there. You can take a screenshot. For the entry requirements, we do accept direct entry for the higher education diplomas as long as they have 6 out of 10. Okay. Um, I think SMK, unfortunately, we don't accept them yet for entry to bachelor's or higher education. For higher education diplomas, I think there could be an option for it. But for bachelor's degree, yeah, currently for SMK, we do not accept. 7 out of 10 for bachelor's degree can get direct entry as well. Master's degree, of course, would depend later on. And for the English entry requirements for higher education diplomas, it is 5.5. And for the normal, usually would we range from 6 to 6.5 acceptance, except of course for nursing, teaching, and masters of social work, which will entail 7 and up. There. And for entry requirements, global systems, we do accept, sorry, IB diploma and A levels, and US education systems via completion of high school diploma. As of the moment, I'm not so sure if SAT is a big assessment entry for Indonesia, but now that is currently being reviewed by the university if there are any SAT students. And one key thing is we do not accept predicted grades. So we need to wait for the students' full grades for this, for us to give them the COE because we do not offer conditional COE. So that's one. I'll be mentioning ahead of time. There, we do not accept predicted grades, unfortunately. There. And for GS assessment, no need for any financials, but we do have a form, whereas the university will ask for details regarding who would be the sponsor, how much is in their bank account, but no need for bank cert and bank statements. So only the form would be needed. And of course, the sponsorship letter, it's already a form as well that would be given. And more or less, it would cover who would be the student sponsor. There you go. And for support, so more or less when the student, even before they travel, we have the International Student Advisory to help them with their pre-departure information. Okay? For this pre-departure information, we would be having booked online sessions already even before they leave the country. And when they arrive, of course, orientation, we also offer free airport pickups. They're also the ones engaged or doing, let's say, campus activities. So weekly, there would be campus activities offered to students. Aside from this, we're also open. This one is for counseling if they need help with homeworks. And then again, especially when they feel homesick, there, that would be part of the service as well. Counseling, career progression, even homework help. And one good thing, we also offer within, or each campus would have a list of job offerings within the area, and ISA can help them with that. There. Sorry. Hopefully you don't hear my cat. So for scholarships, we have the following. So for Vice Chancellor Scholarship next year, we have a 50% off. So this one is separate application and separate interview. um One student per region per semester. So there would be one student for Southeast Asia. So this one, the grade needed would be around 90 and up for the Vice Chancellor Scholarship. But rest assured, if the student is eligible, once they get a conditional offer letter, we would be sending an invite for them to apply to the Vice Chancellor Scholarship. There. And for the other following scholarship, all would be automatically assessed. For the merit scholarship, there we also offer a 20% of fees for high achieving students. But this one, as long as they have 75% passing and up, we would be offering the merit scholarship to them together with their offer letter. And we also have a pathway scholarship for students doing diplomas. On their first year, they would be receiving 10%. And again, this one is stackable with the merit scholarship. Sorry. For the merit scholarship, um, so if they do, let's say, the first year diploma, on their second year of bachelor's degree, they're eligible for the 20% off, as long as they meet the grade requirement. Okay? And accommodation scholarship. So all of the first three accommodations that we saw a while ago, students are eligible for 2,000 off per year. Sorry, not per year, on their first year. Apologies. So for Ballarat, Berwick, and Gippsland, it would be offered 1,000 per semester. And lastly, the early bird bursary. So if any of the students would accept before these dates, they are entitled for 3,000 off tuition fee reduction on their second year. So, or as per others would call it, the third semester. There. Again, these scholarships can still be all together with the paid placement guarantee. So if any students are doing a course under paid placement guarantee, they're also eligible either for the 50% off, 20% off merit scholarship, and then the other scholarships as well. There. So it's a bit scattered in terms of scholarships, but rest assured, most of which is eligible for students and pretty much stackable. There. There. This one you can take a screenshot. So when you do scan this one will bring you to the 2026 brochure, and this one, the 2026 scholarship, that is within the website as well. And if you have any students just dedicated for Melbourne, we actually have a dedicated website for the Study Melbourne campus. And you could also book a free one-on-one that will go directly to one of our colleagues on shore. And the link for that is this one. Yeah. So again, we're with you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Bea. I think we have some question in the Q&A box. So for the other, if you have any question or something you need some clarification from Bea, please do not hesitate to type your question or inquiry in the Q&A box. We have two questions here about the IELTS requirement. I think we already talked about this earlier. That it was 6.5 for bachelor.
Yeah, 6 to 6.5, yes.
So 6.0 to 6.5. So it depends on what program they take. And then is the federation working closely with IBM?
Yes. So we do work closely with IBM. Actually, most of our IT courses are made with them. That's why. Aside from this, we do have great relationship as well, especially within our Ballarat campus. Apologies, I can't seem to see the questions and the bars as my screen has freezed.
Okay, I
Sorry.
can read it for you. It's okay.
Thank you. There.
And maybe another
Then I see it.
question from me regarding the under 18. I
Yes.
already asked this a few times to Kenneth also, and he said before that it's still under review. Do you have
Yes.
any update on that?
Unfortunately, it's still under review. We're still waiting for updates with this, but more or less, I would say as long as the student before they start is if they are 18 already and up before the intake, that's all good. So in time of application, it would just be, let's say, if they're under 18, all good. If they are 17 before the course intake, that's all right. But yeah, I think that's one thing. Currently, we still have no updates in terms of the under 18. So I think it's still quite the same for this.
Ah, I see. And
Yeah.
also to
Sorry.
clarify about the scholarship, for the
Mhm.
accommodation scholarship, it can be bundled with the merit scholarship or the pathway scholarship, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. That would be very helpful to our student that joining and staying at the on-campus accommodation. And as you mentioned that the three regional campus, they have their own accommodation, and it's
Yes.
guaranteed for the student to get the spot, or is it the guarantee only for the first year student?
So this one for the accommodation, yes, it would only be given to the first year students. But in terms of spot for the accommodation itself, the first process for you to get the scholarship really is it would be together with your offer letter. But of course, later on, you need to secure a slot for the accommodation as well. So once that is secured, I believe the 1,000 off would be automatic for the students.
Okay,
When
so
they
the
get in
student better submit the application for the
accommodation
university
as well.
program, and then
Yes,
they apply for the accommodation as well.
correct.
Okay. Is there any timeline for the accommodation application, or they can just apply anytime?
I think they can just apply anytime.
Okay,
So I
that
think it would be best, of course, once you get the offer, you're secured that you are eligible for the scholarship. That would be best.
okay, so they can submit the application for the university program and the accommodation at the same time.
Yes.
That's good to hear. Okay, for the other, if you have any question, please do not hesitate to type your question, or if you want to speak directly with Pia, please do not hesitate to raise your hand and I will allow you to talk.
I'll reshare my screen. And just in case, yeah, this is my email. Feel free to send in an email, but please copy in Yes Education for any inquiries. I'd be happy to answer them as well if you have any follow-up questions. And if you need our social media handles, we have them all here for Facebook, IG, TikTok, and our website. There.
Okay. Okay, as a reminder also that you can also request Beatrice to assist with your student. For example, if you have any student who wants to do the online consultation, asking about the more
Yes.
detailed information regarding the program, and then the living in Ballarat maybe, or in Gippsland,
Yeah.
please do not hesitate to contact Yes Education team, and we can assist to arrange for the consultation session with Pia.
Yes.
Okay, we have another question. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Ballarat and Gippsland are regional areas, so that adds extra point for PR, yeah?
Yes, and it also adds extra year. So if they study in regional area, they get 3 years. If they study in the city, they get 2 years. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. But yes, for regional, students can stay longer as well. But yes, I believe the extra points are still in set for PR.
Mhm.
And if you want, let's say I'm happy to be communicated through WhatsApp as well. Just reach out to Yes Education. Happy to have a group with any of the agent partners. So for easy communication.
Okay. Is there any more question from our partners who join here? Maybe need some clarification, or if you have some student interested to study in program that Federation Uni offer and they want to do PR and asking for options, please do not hesitate to send your question. And also as a reminder that the point collection for Yes Education fam trip is still open. The fam trip will be happening next year. The destination for next year will be Brisbane. So we always rotate. This year we already visit Sydney and Melbourne. So next year it will be Brisbane. Might be also with Gold Coast. So it will be Queensland area. Okay, if there's no more question, I think we can end the session today. As a reminder again that we will share with you the PPT and also the recording will be uploaded in Yes Education YouTube channel. So you can revisit the information, and after this session, if you have any additional question or another pop-up question, or you have any student wants to do the consultation online with Bia, please do not hesitate to contact Yes Education team and we will assist you to arrange. And also open if you want to arrange campus visit for your student.
You.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you, Bea, and thank you
Thank you,
for our
Margareta.
partner joining today. See you on our next webinar sessions.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.